Final word.
The final word.
The final word.
The final word. Let's go. Come on. What's up, fellas?
All's well.
Alright, man, I'm chilling on it, man.
They were like, Law, you never sleep. Come on.
That's true. Law don't sleep. I always
Vampire
say
blood.
it's two laws. It's two or three laws. It's never just one.
One checked out, the other one just checked in.
Say, boy, listen. If y'all knew how serious this boy Law Nation take this, I'ma tell on you, Law. You ready? You ready? Hey, my boy Law was telling me behind the scenes he take vitamins, he drink water, he drink his orange juice. Just to keep that immune system strong, to keep out that content.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Define a word. You
That's a professional, dog. Ooh, this boy. Hey. Oh. 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 Yes. Hit that boy Law with a yoga flame for you, but y'all show
Final word.
Y'all show Law some love with them flames.
Define a
Let's go.
word.
Yoga fire.
The final word.
The final word.
Dracarys.
Let's go. We got a lot to talk about today. Yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about today, man. Tony Pollard, the tag. Woo. We need more weapons. And we go just put it all together. We go just call it the Dallas Cowboys updates. Let's go, Yoga Flames.
Dracarys.
Burn them up. Burn them up. Yeah, man. Excited. And we got us a big week coming up this week. The final word is going to be coming back every week again. We going to be bringing y'all the final word draft show. Ooh, wait, let me turn up that music real quick. Wait. Come on.
The final word.
Oh, it's going to be so dope.
The final word.
Wait. We going to have Jake Tuck, DMV, Big Game James. Oh, the Law himself, and the OC.
Yeah.
That's a dream team from the Lord.
The
That's a
final
dream
word.
team. The final word.
The final word.
The final word. The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
The final
We're gonna be talking
word.
about that. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that. It's gonna be dope. Excited about that. Let's go. Alright. Kickoff time, baby.
The final word.
Let's go. Kick it off. Let's go.
Yeah, I just wanna run it up. Can we check or something? I've been really in the field, let up. Yeah, I've been really in the field, let her rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Run it.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Wait.
Run it.
Yeah.
Run it.
Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up. Yeah. Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still say and roll my change. Take some losses when I play. Charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with
Another one.
I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, there's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah, all right, man. Y'all welcome to the final word.
No doubt.
What's up with the OC, man? Oh, damn.
Lost in space.
Come back, dog. God, dog, that was not cool.
Oh my gosh.
That wasn't quite the look we wanted to kick it off with. Hey, but we already know where we're going with this. So, like me and you, I'm already ready for me and you to handle it while he fixed the Wi-Fi monster. He gonna have to get that dude in check. First, I'm gonna say what's up to the people in my building. Then obviously you go talk to people in your building. We go kick it off. But I see Marcus, Dunn, Javon, Tariq, what's up? Big homie Tyson Kelp. Tyson, I really always appreciate all your encouragement, bro. You always do that on all your comments, man. We appreciate that you appreciate us. Queen, Daisy, Dunn, Jovan, Life's Crazy. He always first. And Timo, Lauren, Albert Smith, Spiffy, and my boy D.A. Lee, man. He always coming in saying, we in the building, Sin City. And my big brother from Dallas, Q. What's up, bro?
Yes, sir. And let me echo what Tyson, Tyson does a wonderful job of repurposing our content, and flowers to you, man. DM me your address. I got something for you, fam, because he's always sending us through things through Twitter, repurposing, man. And I know that is a hard job to do of just everything and giving us all flowers. So I want give you something in return, bro. So just DM me your address, and I know you're doing it from your heart, but I need to give you something from mine.
Yeah, and Tyson, man, yeah, you're right. Tyson, he's fantastic at really endorsing the final word, Law Nation, Boss Cowboy Sports, Big Game James. He really go out his way to do his part to spread the knowledge and he's really like one of a kind with us. So, but let's get right into this. I can hear some background.
Yeah, that's not me.
It's not me either. That you?
That might be Big Game James. Hold on quickly. He might be in the back.
It's somebody that got a motorcycle.
Yeah, I heard a motorcycle. I think that's Big. That is Big. Okay. Big in the house. I didn't know. Yeah, what's up, Big?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, next time, just kick down the door, bro. My boy Big,
I was listening, y'all.
My boy Big, you always a cool dude. He sitting there in the back, just humble, man. Kick this your house, bro. Come on in, dog. What's up, boy?
I was just sitting there listening to y'all, chilling. What's good with everybody? OC, Law, Boss Cowboys. We are back at it again. The final word.
Man, I like that hat,
dog.
Yeah.
I see, man. That boy. I see you done went shopping.
No, I went shopping. This is my tie drip.
That's an
old school. My tie. That's. I don't know. I got this from Texas. I got this on the. I just happened to see this because they don't usually have that black with that blue dark. I like that color. So
No, that's dope. That's a good look, bro. When I jacket, don't say nothing. Don't say that when you see me come with that exact same black hat. I'm acting like I'm gonna even take them glasses. I'm gonna take everything, man. I'm a swag jacket today, big dog.
You be having the glasses though. You already be G'd up. I'm gonna steal them suits you be having.
I appreciate that, big dog. Hey, and speaking of that, Law, you want to talk about real quick the Super Bowl thing that's going on, and then we'll get into the content.
Well, we're gonna pivot a little bit. We got some detailings of what time it's gonna start and how long we're gonna be there. So I hit you up pretty much on tomorrow because I got to meet with the lady to get everything coordinated. Where we gonna have the event at? So we had to pivot a little bit.
So what we'll do is we'll kind of keep that on the low until we get all the details ironed out. That happens sometimes, everybody. We got to all be ready to pivot because things happen. We all independent and, we just got to shake things sometimes. But, man, my boy Quentin with the $5 Super Chat said best Cowboys content show on YouTube, and I gotta say I agree, dog. I gotta say I do agree with that.
I agree as well. I agree as well. I agree as well.
I stand
The number
with
one
that.
show. The number one show.
I definitely
The best
agree
one.
with that.
The number one show. It's the number one show right now.
So
Dallas Cowboys.
Wait,
Yep, it is.
Big, can
It
you
sure
say that
is.
with your chest out, big dog?
I'm saying it all the way with my chest out. It's the number one show. Period.
Period.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody else is saying. We're the best.
You know what?
I really do agree too.
I really can't wait to fast
best.
forward till we get to the draft conversation because my guy Big, man, he be hitting, don't he, Boss Cowboy?
Oh, hell
as well
yeah,
as the OC.
man.
Oh, wait. Ooh, I'm a feature.
yeah, for sure.
I'm a
He's one of the guys. Let me say this. He's one of the guys that don't like to take the credit
BGJ.
too. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like he.
No,
when
you
he
know I
hit
like
on
taking.
Fred Warner,
I'm gonna take some credit now. No, you know that ain't true.
take some
I'm
credit.
gonna take some
But
credit.
when he
I had
hit
some.
on
I had
Fred
some.
Warner,
Look.
Yeah,
Hey, Law.
yeah,
I had
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
get on me. No, Law. I
Yeah.
had somebody get on me today. He got on me. So we were talking about the draft, and he was like, "Oh, I'm watching the draft, and I know big game because if there's like 500 people and he get one right, he gonna say, "Oh, I know it. I knew it." So I jumped in there. So I seen the comment. So I went right in that comment. So I said, okay, yeah. I said, I will say. I said, but I'm gonna definitely admit when I'm wrong. But you damn right. When I'm right, I'm gonna tell you. And if you don't like it, you don't got to listen to the channel. Right?
Facts.
Right?
No, that's facts.
Facts.
Is that a fact?
No, that's
You don't
a
gotta
fact.
listen to it.
You
If
don't.
you don't want to hear it, you ain't gotta listen. But guess what? He kept on commenting, so you must like it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that be the
that.
case.
Yeah,
And we
like-
get ready to kick it off real quick before we kick it off. DeShannon said, hey, Boss Big, Law, and the OC, can y'all please go 2 hours plus tonight? Can't get enough.
Nah, y'all
We
trying to
always
kill
go
people,
2
man.
hours.
Yeah, I
We-
know boss do.
You do too, bro. Come on, bro. You know you be 2 hours in. Though you be the first one. I gotta go. Then it'd be like, but let me get my final word. It'd be 30 more minutes.
Yeah, right. That's you, boss. You be like, he said, I know we about to go, but let me just talk about this one more thing.
Before you go, Big, I want to get your thoughts on this, and then I get you back in the show.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, here we go. Let's kick it off, man, because Jesse Holly talked about something. And I do have this link in the description, so that obviously y'all get him a full click and credit for this. But here we go. Listen to this first part, and then we go talk about the second part, because to me it's interesting. And then we go start picking up on other things. Here we go.
LA Rams. Chargers. LA Rams. LA Chargers. You know what's been funny, Kurt? Former NFL running back Arian Foster came out with this weird comment about that there's a script that's given out to every player and team.
I saw something about that.
And it's one of the most hilarious things
Is it?
ever. Like, him saying it in the state that Arian Foster might be in is not hilarious. But the way that the internet, who absolutely takes nothing serious, has taken that and turned that into something hilarious. And so now everyone's like, oh, when so-and-so saw the script, and they do all these funny memes and gifs and stuff like that. And I say all that to say Kellen Moore leaves here kind of under the depleted offense, not having it, and headed over to the Chargers, who are in talks that they may be getting rid of Everett and Keenan Allen. They're two of their top targets there. I was like, wow. I said, Kellen Moore, and I put the gift on when Kellen Moore was like a quarterback for the Cowboys, and looks at the iPad and he's like flips it off like, oh boy. I said, that's what Kellen Moore looks like when he got the script. And he'll be losing two of his top three pass catches over there. But
Wait, before we go to that next part, I want to talk about that real quick. Man, is Kellen Moore like a cancer or something, dog? Why everywhere he go, number ones and top targets disappear?
I'll tell you exactly why. Because he sells the no-star wide receiver offense. That's his calling card.
Yo.
He's selling his system, and he wows them with his IQ coverage and the beauty draw up. But at the same time, you got to have players to win games. And at the end of the day, he's going to be in a world of hurt. If he don't have Keenan Allen and he loses Eckert, it's going to be an extremely short-lived situation over there in LA for him.
Because we got to know that's not a coincidence. When you showing up, they top targets are going out. That's exactly what it sounds like. Is that he over there selling like he sold Jerry and Steven or Steven told him, hey, with my system, you don't need stars, right? Because we were saying that. You remember Will McClay said in training camp, in our system, there's no stars. So I'm so happy, go. All right, here we go. So let's get to the next part. This is the most important part. I ain't even want to spend a bunch of time on that unless y'all had some. Did you have some on that big?
Hell no, I don't even care about Kellen Moore no more.
All right, cool. We moving on. Cool. Just that. Here we on the good part. Check this out.
The NFL script for us gives us Brian Schottenheimer.
Yes.
And, through conversations and listening to what Mike and some other people said and asking around, it's a unique job. It holds the job title.
See, I'm like that he actually asked around. We don't know who Jesse Holly's source is on this, but Jesse is in the building, and we all know Jesse personally. We all know Jesse is a man of character, and he ain't gonna be making up stuff. You know what I mean? So when we hearing this from Jesse, this is gonna be very insightful. Then we go talk about it. Here we go.
Right.
Be right back,
Offensive
boss.
coordinator. But on game day, Mike McCarthy, who is the head coach, will be calling the plays. So some may ask, well, what is Brian going to be doing?
Right. That's a good question. I'd like to know that.
Right.
myself.
And so I've asked around, and what the responses have been that I've gotten was that he will take over the day-to-day stuff when it comes to kind of running practices from the offensive perspective, meetings,
Okay.
designing things like that, while Mike is still doing the overall head coaching stuff. Kind of still personnel. Mike's still gonna be doing personnel-wise and day-to-day kind of planning of everything, but
So when they're in the meetings breaking stuff down or going through the upcoming, game plan, that's Schottenheimer's going to be doing that.
I think it's going to be a collaborative between Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer in their coaches meeting.
Yeah.
And let me take you behind the scenes just for a second.
Yeah.
When you're going through a week of football, and I don't want to get too complex on you, but the days are broken down, right? You have your Monday comes in.
Then he got into kind of like how the practices work. But the big thing that he was talking about is how their roles are going to be divided up, and he went into a lot more detail than I've ever heard. So I want to kind of get y'all thoughts on this and kind of see, do y'all see anything that we should be fearful on, or do y'all see like an opportunity in this thing, or what are y'all seeing from more and more that's starting to come out? I'm gonna start with you, Big. We always start with you, Big homie.
Well, I just feel like, he's getting this guy that he's comfortable with. He was with the staff last year, and I was already hearing that he was going to do a lot of more of the install of the offense, but Mike was, will call the plays, so he can make installs of certain checks or certain plays they may see. Mike McCarthy can go to those. I think they can just work hand in hand. I think just Mike McCarthy wants to have guys he's comfortable with, guys he knows his system, and I don't feel like this is anything kind of weird. I think we've seen this in the NFL before, and I just feel like they already have a relationship. He wants to have somebody that has the same kind of mind in the concept of that West Coast type offense, where it's a lot of run. It's a lot of run first, a lot of play action, and that's what Dak is really good at, is play action passing. Quick slants. Dak is good with those slant patterns and getting to the ball, the receiver, when he's in motion. I mean, when he's, CeeDee Lamb is good with yards after catching, but hitting him when he's in motion with the ball, that's when he's really good at. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that. So, I'm like I said, I'm ready to see what's going to happen with it. I'm not going to be what we said. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people were pessimistic about it. I don't feel so. I feel like this is something that we'll see, I'm ready to see what's going to happen with it. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it has to be some explosive number one type offense. As long as that Joker is getting the job done, run pass, I'm cool.
No doubt. That's some good observation there, Big Game James. And I would say this too. Nothing new under the sun. The 49ers had the same game plan. They got an offensive coordinator, but their head coach called the plays, and his name is Kyle Shanahan. So, yes, you have installments. Yes, you have strategy schemes, and this could work out best for Mike McCarthy. Why? Because Mike McCarthy now can sit back and still be the overall coach, meet with all of the staff, but now when they get down to actually dialing up plays, use and lean on his experiences. He been around great quarterbacks like the Joe Montanas, like I believe Brett Favre and all of those guys, Aaron Rodgers. So he know what good quarterback play is. So let's put the quarterback in good situations. So we would now begin to utilize and see the full strength of Mike McCarthy and the way he want to see these wide receivers and as well as tight ends. I recall just before the season kicked off, ladies and gentlemen, that he wanted to see Simi Fehoko as a hybrid tight end, and we had our backs and forwards with that. But now looking at the bigger picture, and hindsight is 2020, maybe Simi never could pick up those option routes and those stop routes. Now, when we look at everything and we see what Michael Finley done, when we see what Jimmy Graham done, and we see what all of the host of other tight ends done under Mike McCarthy's system, maybe we would see the utilization of Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot sprinkled in with Simi Fehoko so he can get some playing reps and times in out there on the field. So all of these things could work out for the good.
OC, did you
Yeah,
hear?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, it's something that, I kind of covered in a video that was just put out about Brian Schottenheimer, is that he will be the yin and the yang of the day-to-day for the offensive schematics, because it's not a traditional role. And so Jesse Holley basically is highlighting something that, we kind of covered, in the sense that Mike McCarthy is the head coach. He has the oversight of the entire organization and team from that perspective, from the football perspective. So there's no way he could do all of the prep, all of the practices, all of the film study by himself and still manage all of his responsibilities. So that's what Brian Schottenheimer is there for. And these guys share similar philosophies. He's from a pedigreed family. The late, the great Marty Schottenheimer, Super Bowl championship coach for the Kansas City Chiefs when he was coaching. So I think it's going to work out really, really good. And what you notice, and what I've noticed, if you look at certain teams that have an offensive-minded head coach, they still have an offensive coordinator or an assistant, it helps a lot, because now you have two men looking at the field. And it's big. So if somebody misses something, the other person normally picks it up, and you're able to make really, really good in-game adjustments and have really, really great prep, because you have two sets of eyes versus one.
Yeah, no, I feel fantastic about it, and I already talk about it, so I ain't gonna talk about it again. I just want to definitely get y'all thoughts on it. Another thing that's obviously been cycling in the wind, and we want to kind of go around a circle on this, is obviously the Tony Pollard tag. So, and I know, OC, you got a video and a cue that you go do on it. I don't know if you go spill it all today if you can. But I want to kind of get y'all thoughts on this, and because it was some people that was very open to even unloading the whole running back room, and so I want to kind of go around a circle, and talk about what does that tag mean for him, what does it mean for the Cowboys, what does it even likely mean with his potential recovery. So we gonna go around a circle again, starting with you, Big.
I don't want him to get the tag. I'm against the tag with him. I did say, I made a video about I'd rather see him get a deal more than the tag, because I feel like the tag is just a 1-year rental. You're not going to re-sign him to a long-term deal. But if you tag him, he's a running back. He's 25, will be 26. I mean, I just feel like that's just, you got $10 million you're going to give him to him for 1 year. What if that year is not good? Then you're talking about bringing Ezekiel Elliott back, and if he takes that huge discount, I just don't like it. I just feel like, you got Tony Pollard in the 4th round, and as I said before, I was open to having him being the lead guy, Malik Davis being the backup, and seeing how that can go, and maybe you can get a running back later. But you did get Tony Pollard in the 4th round, and Tony Pollard is an explosive back. This running back class is very deep. Deeper than it's been in a long time.
Yes.
Some good explosive backs in this draft. A lot of good running backs in the draft.
Yes.
So I just don't understand why you would spend $10 million on a player, even though he's explosive, just to see him on Mike McCarthy's offense. No, I don't want that. You can get your running back You can keep a Malik Davis. I mean, you really can do it. It's just really you're gonna be scared. This is where you be scared. Oh, we worried, and so we ain't gonna jump out there and get no rookie or nothing like that because we scared. So let's just put him on a 1-year deal because we scared, just like you was scared with Dalton Schultz. You was scared. And that's why you put him on the 1-year deal because you were scared. Scared money don't make money. Because see, when you put that 1-year deal on Dalton Schultz, and what was his numbers? 56 catches, 57 catches for 500 yards, 5 TDs, 10 yards a catch. Nothing impressive, nothing crazy. So why'd you spend that money on him? That's why it don't make no sense, in my opinion, for you to tag him. Stop being scared. This is your time where you see these other teams, right? This is where they wheel and deal. This is where they get creative. They get creative with the cap. And they say, you know what? We're going to move on. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to get creative. We're going to try to make some moves. But the Cowboys don't get creative. They show it for what it is. They already throw their hand out there. They're throwing out the franchise tag for what? And telling everybody already right now. That's why they lose in free agency, and that's why moves don't be made, and that's why they're always kind of stagnant in that set. So, no, I'm not cool with it.
God, dog. Hold on real quick.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big Game James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
I had to do 2 bucks on that. Go ahead,
Yeah, man. This is good for the Cowboys and bad for Tony Pollard. And I'll tell you why. The Cowboys should draft a running back or bring some type of explosive back if they find value late in the draft or in free agency of some sort, because you got to get younger and faster from the running back position. And the other thing is this, is if you pay him on a rental, $10.3 million, I believe, is the running back tag for 2023, then what you do is that you make him prove it again. You make him prove it again, and you do what I think they're going to do with Dalton Schultz, which is make him get down the road, get another year of wear, get another explosive year out of him, hopefully, right, and use him as an assurance policy as you rotate younger and fresher bodies into that backfield. And that's the play by the Cowboys if they follow through with this in terms of Tony Pollard. It's bad for him because we know that running backs have a certain shelf life. It doesn't matter how fast, how great, how explosive you are. The exception to the rule would be people like Adrian Peterson, would be people like LaDainian Tomlinson, would be people, I would say, even like a Derrick Henry. But those guys are exceptions to the rule. They're not the rule. Everybody falls off a cliff at a certain point, and you just don't know what year they're going to do it. And that's the deal with being a running back and why you got to get paid. And if I was Tony Pollard, just on the real tip, man, I would hold out if I was you, my man. I would hold out as long as you could. I wouldn't sign that tag. I'll try to make them give me some money. But this situation is good for the Cowboys, and it's bad for him.
But see, he can't hold out OC because that's not going to help him. He's a running back. So for him to hold out, nobody wins when they do the tag. Nobody. That's why the tag needs to just move off, and they just need to figure out when they do negotiations how to get rid of that tag, because the tag don't help them. Because if he's going to hold out, what person or what player have we seen actually hold out and win that battle against team? You're going to do nothing but lose and get fined and come in late and then possibly get an injury. And then what happens with that? Then you done messed up that tag and you're a running back.
Well, the deal is that you can refuse to report. And by refusing to report, depending upon the strength of the draft and what other bodies come into the building, you could potentially hurt the team. And so it's the threat of you missing time. And it's just posturing. It's a two. Are you going to win? I don't know. Probably not. But if they don't go out and sign a really good running back in the draft, right, or go get some other capital free agency, and you're the featured guy, and they, let's say as a theoretical, they let go of Ezekiel Elliott as a theoretical, right? Now you banking a whole franchise on a rookie back or unknown person, and that gives him some type of leverage, and that's what I mean.
Man,
I got you.
Big. See, because I know Big already been looking at them draft candidates. Bro, to me, it's impossible to look at the depth of this class, because I know a lot of people, Bijan, Bro, it's way more than him in his class. It's a lot of backs in his class, man.
It's some horses, man.
It's some horses. But I did want to say this also about Tony Pollard. If we go into the West Coast, it is no better back than Tony Pollard. Ooh, he was made for this offense. So if anybody want to get excited, go look at what McCaffrey was doing at San Fran and how they was using him, and then imagine Dallas doing that with Pollard. Oh my Lord.
Yep.
But you know what, boss?
Yeah.
I'm agree with OC in the fact of this is not good for Tony Pollard. Like I said, the franchise tag I don't think is good, period. But it's definitely not good for a running back in Tony Pollard. He's motivated, but how? You're giving me a 1-year deal, $10 million. You already seen he got hurt at the end of the year, right? He's a running back. You see he got hurt at the end of the year. So how are you happy about this? That you want a long-term deal as a running back. You don't want no 1-year deal on a franchise.
No, you don't.
This is for the Dallas Cowboys. This is for their selfish side. Let's just use you for that year because we worried about stuff. But this is not good for the player. So I don't see where the player feels good about this and how he wants to, you know what I'm saying, give the full effort for the team and that nature when we're already talking about franchising you and where you can't make no other money. You're going to just take this 1-year deal. The threat of injury is huge, and that's not good for a player, especially a running back.
Big.
And not just that.
Go ahead, love.
I was
devil's
gonna say,
advocate. Go ahead.
Not just that, because Tony is a young man. He got a family and everything, and you want security for assurance for where you're going to be at the next year. And a $10 million deal may sound cool, but it'd be the most money that he'll ever make. But good teams or great teams don't franchise tag their players. Franchise tag is kind of equivalent to the check cashing places or the title loan places. It just costs too much. You can't extend that money. You can't spread that money out throughout the life of the contract. And yes, it's a 1-year rental, and it also can bite you in the you know what, because what if Tony Pollard explode and be that crazy beast animal out of this West Coast system? Speaking of West Coast, think of, like, I know I'm going to age myself, but think of Roger Craig's of the world, right?
But
think
faster.
of like what they did with the Ricky Waters and down that time with the
faster.
49ers when they was but faster. So a guy that can catch out of the backfield, you can run them on wheel routes. You can do all of those things out of a West Coast principle. The drags underneath. So it's going to be nasty for the Cowboys. They need to go ahead, if they really like Tony Pollard, extend that man for a long-term contract, three years, and move on and get it done. If you don't feel that high on Tony Pollard, there's a Gibbs out there that you can go grab. There's multiple guys in this draft that you can bring in for a rookie deal there. But go ahead, y'all.
Nah, man. Because I feel like, to be all the way honest, I feel like the Joneses got a lot of leverage on this. He got him a late injury. You know what I'm saying? So with that, if I'm speaking like I'm one of the Joneses, bro, you got to come down off your price. Because we going to be gambling with you, bro. You saw us gamble with Gallup, and we didn't quite get the best year we supposed to get out of him because he also had a late injury. You know what I mean? So we do want you long term, bro, but you got to drop your price. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. It really is like that, because we do got the option to go get us 3 young studs out this draft who gonna be way cheaper than you. You know what I'm saying? And if you go heavy in this draft and clear the whole running back room, there's a possibility you could even be better. Now, ideally, I do want to keep Tony Pollard, but I swear to God, it looked like the Joneses got all the leverage on this one to me. I'm just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. You gotta come down off your price, big dog.
Yeah, but the Jones family don't know how to leverage. You know, I just think that they kind of shoot themselves with these franchise tag, because we clearly, granted, Dalton Schultz was good with Dak Prescott for those few spells of a game, but it was always inconsistent with him sometimes. I think that you could have went got a Hayden Hurst and spread out this whole thing and save a whole lot of money.
You could have made some money, Law.
Could have made some money. What's that again?
Made some money.
You
could have made some money. You could have made some money with that, but they don't want to do that because they scared money. They scared money now. Jerry Jones just came out in an interview and said with the Rams and the Eagles, like, oh, they went out, but I don't know if I want to do that because what if it come back and bite me? I'm cool with being in the middle. He said it. He said out his own mouth, I'm cool with being in the middle, but I like how we are in the middle. How can you like that? How can you like being in the middle and just this is the problem I have, and I know it's nothing like we can really even do about it. But it's like you got them Super Bowls on being aggressive. You came into the league being hella aggressive. You made them trades. You were wheeling and dealing. And what happened? You got Super Bowls. And even if there wasn't free agency back then, you were wheeling and dealing. You didn't care. You went out there and made moves. And what happened? It produced Super Bowls. And I, for one, even when he made mistakes with, maybe some bad signings, Joey Galloway, we saw some players, Roy Williams, but I never got mad at him for ever trying to be aggressive because that was letting me say something. I would just say this. Everybody's mad at my Dallas Mavericks. Well, not everybody. A lot of people are mad at my Dallas Mavericks saying it's going to fail because they went out and got Kyrie Irving, right? I'm just going to correlate this. They went out and got Kyrie Irving, right? Because, you know why? They took a chance. It could blow up in their face, right? It could blow up in their face. But they're saying we're going to take a chance on it anyway because it could go the way we want. We're putting another quality player. We're trying to make this move and trying to make it happen. That's where I don't like this. And when you see just right there with this Tony Pollard thing, I feel like we saw he's a rookie. Wasn't Ezekiel Elliott a rookie? Ezekiel Elliott came in did pretty good as a rookie, didn't he?
So did.
How many rookie running backs have we seen in the NFL that have come in and done well?
Some. A lot. Yeah. To your
a
point.
lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
We've seen a lot of rookie running backs come in and produce. We've seen unknown rookie running backs. I think there's a couple of unknown rookie running backs that happened this year
Gibson.
that had 1,000 yards.
Remember Gibson did it?
Yes. James Robinson.
Julio
from the Jaguars. Yes.
Remember Julius Jones? Remember Julius Jones?
How are we going to sit?
Julius Jones.
How are we going to sit? Right, but so how are we going to sit there and say we worried about Tony Pollard coming back? We've seen it time and time again. Young backs coming in this league and making waves. Boss, we talked about Breece Hall before he got hurt. Was he going crazy?
Going crazy, and we knew he was going crazy. We said it last year that Breece was going to go crazy. We called it.
Let me just address the elephant in the room. Let me address the elephant in the room here, and no one can say it better than my man Law Nation. And he said, just go ahead and get it all the way out. Let me go ahead and get it all the way out then, because at the end of the day, you don't have to sign Tony Pollard. That's the truth. Okay, let me go further. You don't even really need Tony Pollard. And if I'm the general manager, I'm looking at Tony Pollard like, sir, you have a lower leg injury. We love you. I don't know if you're going to be as explosive as you were. We got to be responsible with the cap. We're going to give you just about a team-friendly deal. If you want it, you want it. If you don't, you can shop. That's okay, sir. And I'm drafting 2 running backs. And then where I will take a chance, because here's the thing, Big, and this is where I will say something. You don't have to be super risky to have a championship franchise right now because you drafted well, you bargain shopped well. You don't have to be super risky to be great, but you do need to take a risk somewhere. You need to take a risk somewhere. So if you splash with another target on the outside, like a receiver or something of that nature, right, you can be conventional, conservative, and draft well again, get some fresh meat in here. I hate to put it like that. Get some fresh meat in here and get these boys to rock because they're going to be 21 years old, full of testosterone, hungry, as strong as they going to be, ready to take that punishment for 3 or 4 years, and let's rock. That's what I'm doing if I'm the Joneses. I'm not overpaying for nobody, and I'm not worried about it if you take my contract or not.
This class special,
see, this is what I said. But this is what I'm saying right here. Just bouncing off you, OC. This is my free agency thing. I said, remember what I said? You don't have to go out there and get all kind of free agents. You don't have to go out there and go crazy. Well, I said, go out there and get Deron Payne. Move these guys. Cut some people. Get rid of some people. Let some people go. Get Deron Payne. He'll be a difference maker in your middle. He'll take your defense. What that defense is already good and make it to a higher level. I said go out there and get a DJ Chark from the Detroit Lions. He's a big receiver who we haven't had. 6'4", 4.3 speed still, and he's not going to cost you a lot of money because his numbers weren't crazy. You can re-sign a Donovan Wilson. You can re-sign Terrence Steele. You can re-sign Anthony Brown on a depth. You can re-sign a Jonathan Hankins, LVE. These are guys at contracts that will be good for you. Maybe you can bring back a Dante Fowler. You're okay if you do that in free agency. That did not kill you, especially if you restructure contracts and then you got a difference maker on your defense that's going to take your defense to another level. You kept a reserve in Jonathan Hankins. You still have a Bohanna, and then you still got a Gallup, Jalen Tolbert year 2. You got a DJ Chark, who's a big, fast receiver now. And then, like you said, OC, you can still draft running backs and choose, and you're going to be okay. Stop being out there and being scared, Dallas Cowboys, and that's the problem. Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
I already hit the button. I'm going to hit it again.
Big game James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
Sometimes boys be just freestyle. That was a freestyle by Big Game James.
My goodness, man,
go
off
ahead.
the top rope. But let me say this about Big Game James' thoughts and theory with this. And this is why this should be something that the Cowboys front office should adapt. It's not about getting the small fringe free agencies. We're not pretty much wanting the Cowboys to stop their philosophy with that. But what we're saying to the Cowboys, damn it, won't y'all just make one big move? Just one legitimate big move. Deron Payne would be that guy. The last time we had a guy with double-digit sacks from the interior, his name was Jason Hatchett. And you really think about it, this will allow Parsons to eat. This will help out your secondary, especially Diggs and all of those other boys Bland, on whether or not you're going to kick them to the outside or keep them inside. So, yes, your interior trench warfare is everything. And that's one thing you can't get out of this draft. It's a Deron Payne or one of those big boys inside, because those big boys out of the draft, 9 times out of 10, they got to get their weight up. They got to get their strength up, their grown man stuff. And it takes about 2 to 3 years collectively. And you can get a known commodity out of Deron or even Javon Hargrave or somebody like that from the interior. I know the Eagles fan talking about him, but he had 12 sacks from the interior. That helped everything else out. So they can't pay that guy. And, of course, the Washington team can't pay Deron. Let's figure out a way to pay one of those guys and bring them home over here in Big D.
All right, so
and I'm gonna throw another name in the hat. I wouldn't be upset if you just went ahead and got a person like a DK Metcalf to balance that field and just dominate offensively, something like that. And I'm bouncing off along this in the sense that, man, you don't gotta go sign 3 or 4 big time free agents. We just need one good one. Because you draft well enough and you manage well enough. If you got a star piece on offense and or defense, man, that will set you head and shoulders above a lot of teams in the NFC.
All right, so that was wonderful. That was wonderful, man. Y'all clap it up for the panel, man. The panel did their thing on that one. I think that was very in-depth by everybody that's at the table. It's a lot of plates, so hopefully everybody got a snack off of that. I feel good about that, but very good thought, and I'm very curious to see how this go play out. So check this out. It's something that's been going around a lot, and I'm hearing it more and more and more. I can hear somebody background. That might be you, Big. You might have your TV on.
Oh yeah, let me turn it down.
It's all good. But it's something that keep going around. The Cowboys need more weapons. Yeah, that's going around. Let's kind of start having that conversation, because that was pretty obvious towards the end of the year that they were searching for weapons. They looked like they never could find that replacement that they was trying to get from Amari in the absence of Amari. So just what's y'all thoughts on this weapon stuff, and how do y'all see this playing now? We will kick it off with you, La.
Well, more is the merrier. The last time we won Super Bowls where we went out and got more weapons. You know, Charles Haley was that elixir to help out our defense. And then we needed more and more weapons, and then we got a Deion Prime. So it goes that way, ladies and gentlemen. We need more weapons. We need people to help this team out. Law, what you mean? You got to buy a Super Bowl? Yes. There's nothing wrong with saying it. Hey, we see Tom Brady, and he is the only guy that's remembered. But I recall a Stephon Gilmore. I recall a Darrell Reeves. I recall a Talib Akib. I haven't said that man's name. He's from Texas, right, boss? So we get all of those things that you look at it. If one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, if he needed more and more weapons on the defensive side or the offensive side, who you think the Cowboys need? We need more weapons. Yep. So let's go out there and find more and more weapons. I've seen Matthew Stafford. Most people considered him trash before he came over to the Rams land, and they had weapons upon weapons. And of course, we looking at the Eagles. They walking right to the Super Bowl. Why? They got more and more weapons. No one on this plane or dimension can tell me that, hey, Jalen Hurts would have made it to the Super Bowl if he was throwing it to Jalen Reagor, right? And they didn't add in A.J. Brown and et cetera, or the people that they added in on the defensive side of the coin. So all teams need more and more weapons. Look, I'm going to say this before I let somebody else go in. Tom Brady, right, when he went to the Buccaneers, let me know, did he get more and more weapons? Antonio Brown, oh my goodness, man, he brought my guy out, Gronk, so he had more and more weapons. You can't do this by yourself.
Team game. Talking about weapons. See, my question is I said this last night. Dak is the only quarterback that they actually take weapons from and say do more with it.
Right. Woo.
Because you can't tell me that Josh Allen is Josh Allen without Diggs. You can't tell me Burrow is Burrow without Chase and Higgins. You can't tell me that. I'm not listening. It's going in one ear and out the other. It don't even make sense. Yeah. They know it. They know it. Like, even we talked about this last night. People always talking about, well, you know, Dak is not Mahomes. You know, he can't carry a team. Like, bro, when they saw Mahomes running for his life versus Tampa in the Super Bowl, they went and acquired 2 high draft picks for his offensive line and 2 top-level free agents, and when they got Juju and more weapons, as they already had the best tight end to ever play.
And paid Christopher Jones. We don't forget about that $60 million. They just said, oh, they didn't hesitate at all. Let me pay this dude on the defensive side. Let me pay him. They paid him like money. Mayweather. They paid that brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if it was us, we would have put his feet to the fire. But go ahead, Paul.
No, I'm loving it, man. Let me go around the circle. Ooh-wee.
Yeah, man. Well, here's a good thing about this. And this is what I'm betting on, guys. If Mike McCarthy has some say in these draft picks in the same way that Dan Quinn got control and was able to stock his side of the ball with the premium talent and the type of players that he likes, we're going to be in extremely good shape. Because if you go back and you look at the Green Bay Packers, what did they have? They had big wide receivers that were great route runners, that had speed. They had big tight ends that look like power forwards from the NBA, 6'7", 260, 270, that could run past safeties. We had running backs that could pound it, cut, catch out of the backfield, and also make the long run. So listen, if we get the type of prototypes for the West Coast offense that they ran up in Green Bay, and Mike McCarthy is able to get his shopping list together and actually pick some of the ingredients by which to make this masterful recipe, we gonna be in real good shape. So it looks real good, and as long as we see some trickles of that in this draft, we gonna be in real good shape.
Count that money real quick, because listen.
This is the logical step to build on it and use what we've established, or if you will, the foundation of the ones we've got. This is a time for us to build on it, and that's what this is. This is a building step.
Offensively, will you keep the same offense, or will you go back to what Mike used to run in Green Bay?
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
Wait a minute, Arkansas.
To the OC's point. To the OC's point. Ooh, I see it coming because the writing is on the wall. You got CeeDee Lamb said it. You got Jerry said it. You got all these people talking about weapons. Weapons. Listen, the weapons are coming. Not if OC win. One more time.
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
Ooh, but more importantly, what? Hold on. Wait. More importantly, Big, did I hear him right? More importantly, what?
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
He ain't bullshitting on he telling the truth on that. Listen, cause see, that's why we started the show off with this. It's no coincidence that Kellen Moore, the counselor, going over there to the Chargers, and all of a sudden they losing weapons. We get rid of Kellen Moore, and we get the epiphany that we need more weapons. Oh wow, what a coincidence! Wow. Go ahead, B. Oh, you off? Your mic off? Your mic off?
You muted. You muted, dude.
Hold on, I didn't mute him. I didn't mute.
No, I think he muted himself.
Let me see. Let me make sure I mute the big homie. Cause I want to hear from homeboy. Ooh, go ahead.
He might have muted it when he had that background on the TV. Remember?
Yeah, he hit that background on the TV. He probably muted it. Hold on, real quick. Hey, whenever you come back, just kick in the door, Big. Don't even ask. Just start talking. But go ahead, Law. Did you have some thoughts on that?
Well, we know what Big Game James gonna say. Yeah, that sound good, but that's lip services. Big Game James look like he was ready to go. Big Game James, you know when he get like this, he get ready to talk, boy.
Big Game James, he did kind of had his face right here though a little bit. Did he not? Did he or did he not kind of have that face when I was excited? Was I reading the room right when I was excited? Was Big looking like that, bro?
You was excited.
I was excited. I was over there liking the. Well, that twerking is horrible in the back, but
Big Game said he smelled fish out for that one.
Ooh, dog, man, that ain't no fish, but these boys finna go shopping. I think it's getting ready to be exactly what the OC said. What they did on
Big
defense.
Game James go first though.
I'm waiting on him, man. Big, fix your mic. Big, fix your mic. Big, fix your mic. We want to hear from you, Big. We putting that pressure on you, Big. Everybody say it together. Big, fix your mic. Big, and while we doing that, I gotta hit the OC with a button real quick, cause on the cool, man. You deserved it on that last one. I just forgot to do it. Here we go. Let's go buy Big some time. Here we go.
The OC.
Let's go.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
We gonna go back and
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Man, I promise you, we gonna come back to this show and we gonna talk about it. We gonna say, remember we said they was getting ready to super stock up on weapons. In about 3 months, we gonna be like, ooh, look at this. Watch, I bet $1 million. Jerry is not playing. Is Big back? Is he back? Okay, he coming out. He coming back in.
Mr. Big. They call me Mr. Big. But OC, you go, man.
Man, look, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, if you just go back and think about it, right? And I mentioned this before, I'll mention it again. One of the reasons that we didn't have the involvement from the Jalen Tolbert 3rd round draft pick is because he looked like a deer in headlights. I remember one game he checked into the game, guys. He was in a slot, and I was just watching it on TV. And Jalen Tolbert's eyes were this big. He just looked like he had the fear of God in him. And I'm like, man, that young man is struggling. That young man is confused. And now, if you can simplify
Steve,
you in.
Yep.
You
good, brother.
You in the door.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, OC.
No, you good.
I apologize.
No, you can.
But yeah, let me jump right in there and temper Boss's enthusiasm. I'm gonna temper your enthusiasm up in this mother sucker. Temper your enthusiasm up in this mother sucker, dog. Calm your ass down over there. get that damn act together. You talking about Jerry Jones here? I don't be believing all that stuff.
I won't miss some glory hole.
No. Yeah, you know what I mean? Now, I'm going to say maybe I feel a little better. You know, with Mike McCarthy, he's getting his guys, but I want to see. I want to see you in free agency because all I heard Jerry was saying he was scared. Then all I heard Stephen Jones saying he's scared too. And y'all remember when we did Amari Cooper? Man, how long ago was that? That was like 5 years ago. You still doing cartwheels over Amari Cooper when you made that trade in 2018. It's 2023, and you're still talking about that. So when you're saying that he's going to go out there and get personnel, I need to see it. I just mentioned 2 players, and I know we can get a few more different guys, if that can make what you're talking about work, because we can't just rely on all rookies, right? So let me see it before I jump out there and say just because Jerry Jones at the Senior Bowl talk that he always do, I want to see the actions because he be doing a lot of talking and ain't been a lot of action.
Yes, indeed. That's why I didn't want to go, boss.
No, it's cool, but say, listen,
you want to go bust my bubble?
Man, I don't care what Big say, bro. I'm drinking this Kool-Aid, man. I don't care nothing about my dog, Big. Big,
go ahead and drink the Kool-Aid.
That's my dog, bro. But hey, man, listen, because it's more than him, bro. It's also this man. All aboard again. Hey, it's about this dude. It's also about this dude right here, Big. It's about him too. So this is to the OC's point. Hear me out, Big. Just give me one chance real quick. Just give me one I might be able to talk you into. From Hey, y'all give me a second, man. I think I can do it. No,
you gotta wait.
Hear me out.
No, you gotta wait all the way to the playoff next year.
No,
exactly. We got
we ain't wait for that. We ain't wait for all that. No,
I don't see it in free. If I do not see it in free agency, we're waiting to the playoffs again.
No. Hear me out. Because it's something that the OC said that was pivotal that I'm holding on to have some type of faith, which is also leading to me drinking what I think is measured Kool-Aid. But hear me out, Big. I want you to hear me out. The big thing now hear me out. The OC said something that was potent. Remember when Dan Quinn was tasked with fixing the franchise's all-time worst defense. So Will McClay and Mike McCarthy came together, and Mike McCarthy said something that turned Will McClay into Superman. He said, listen, man, I'm not going to dictate to you who to pick. You get the players, I'm going to coach them up. Just get me the players. When if Mike McCarthy say that on offense, even though Jerry Jones put it out there and we should be leery of what he say, I do trust that if Mike McCarthy unleash Will McClay to work his superpowers, bro, we gonna have a better offense. That's just how I see it.
Well, we ain't working our superpowers if you sign Tony Pollard that franchise. You're not working your superpowers, are you?
No. We really
I'm going to say something about that real quick because I might be able to help Boss Cowboy convince you a little bit on this one, Big. If you think about this, we really don't need to dominate in the free agent market because it's not a bunch of great free agent wide receivers out there this year, in my opinion. But where you can get hidden value is the hidden gems that you have in your own organization that you have not used. Because what did we see with Jalen Turbo going back to training camp? We saw him beating people one-on-one. We see him doing great things in training camp, but then all of a sudden when we got to the regular season, he disappears. Why? It had to be a disconnect with his learning and his acumen about this system. If you simplify this and let man beat man, like Michael Irvin said, let man beat man. Jalen Turbo can beat some DBs in this NFL. Also, think about a guy that runs a 4.2 that hadn't even got 5 targets on offense. His name, he made the Pro Bowl as a kick returner. right? Imagine using him some. You get some redemptive power. Also, I'm gonna say a guy I still like, who I just think, man, hadn't really got a fair shake. Simi Fioku. I think he's a possession guy. He's a 4-4 guy. He's tall. He's big. He's 6'3", 230. Runs a 4-4. You can possibly get some redemptive power by making one big move in free agency and also adding some additional talent in the draft along with what you have. And if you do that smartly, what I say, Big, it's a lot of redemptive potential things you can do to even use the pieces you already got. Just an idea.
But I'm with you, OC. That's why I said go get a Deron Payne and get somebody on a defensive side. That I said, you don't have to get 5 free agents. Get like 2. I'm with the Jalen Tolbert because I think Jalen Tolbert is going to have a good year 2 under Mike McCarthy. I'm excited about that. I like Turpin, but I still feel like to get over the hump, you can have, and I said this before, and y'all already know this. Y'all played on squads where you had a nice team, and then next thing you know, the next dude comes up, you like, oh, I got next, and you pick him up. Your team goes from good. This dude was playing on the side of the court, or he was playing on the field. Now all of a sudden he came on your team. Y'all was beating teams. Now y'all dominating teams because that outside guy came out of nowhere and made your team that much better. And that's what the Cowboys need to do. So that's what I need to see, OC, Boss, and Law. When I see that in some free agency, because you just said, Boss, personnel, right? If you let Mike get his guys, like you said, Dan Quinn was able to get his guys on defense, and you saw the defense change. If I can see that on offense, and I can see some aggressiveness out there, because I saw a little bit in the midseason, not a lot, but it was enough for me to say maybe y'all changed it a little bit with the flirtation of Odell Beckham Jr., and then you went out and got Jonathan Hankins, even though it was 2 years later and it was cheaper. It's still he still helped. But was Jonathan Hankins a difference maker? Understand what I'm saying. I like Jonathan Hankins. He was good for our team. But was he a difference maker? No. So that's what I need to see. We need to get at least 1, maybe 2 small, but we need to get 1 difference maker from free agency. If I see some of that, even on offense, then you guess what? I ain't going to drink Kool-Aid, but I'll have the cup over here sitting and by me. But I ain't saying nothing until I see something like that. If I don't see nothing like that, dog, it's just a bunch of talking just to get us back in, reel all our Cowboys fans back in, and start believing that foo-foo stuff. And I ain't doing it, dog.
Let me hear one time, man, Boss. Wee-woo, wee-woo.
Oh, the wee-woo.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number 1 bullshit guy. He do the wee-woo.
Hey, but see,
that Jerry Jones be doing the wee-woo, wee-woo.
Yeah, he
be doing the wee-woo, wee-woo. And Matt Stephen Jules be doing the wee-woo, wee-woo.
Do the wee-woo all
Number
day.
1 boss.
Number 1. But
Number
OC,
1.
you led up and perfectly segued us into what I want to talk about anyway. It's the potential year 2 jump of Tolbert, you know? So where we might not need as many receivers as we think. Because see, it's one thing, and this is the cool thing about me being in the Dallas training camp the final days, and I was out there with Big and Law. We was out there with our own eyes. We both came out of the final practice, remember that? And we had one guy who destroyed that day. And we saw it with our own eyes. Jalen Tolbert. He destroyed. He had like 8 catches in that practice. He was wearing them boys out. And I think the Kellen Moore system, where you had to be able to read a defense, made them have to put him on the shelf. So is it a coincidence that when we look around and we seeing all these rumors and we seeing all these talks and these articles all predicting pretty much that we likely go see a year 2 jump? Because I don't think it was his talent that didn't keep him on the field. I think it was his lack of an ability to be able to read a defense, which to me was asking a lot because he only been playing football for 5 years. Most people don't even know that. He started playing football in high school. That's how much of a natural dog athlete he is. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we looked at Jalen Tolbert and we saw traits of him being in between CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. Don't shake us with the butter knife, y'all. He was in between. He was the yak guy. He was the guy that can high point the ball. And one thing that we all saw was like, hey, he was South Alabama. but can he have those physical traits on the big stage? And what happened, what really hurt him is the books with the Kellen Moore's offense.
Yep.
Dennis Houston, brilliant, smart guy. We talked about Jalen Hurts. I mean, not Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Tolbert. The Eagles must be on my mind. We talked about Jalen Tolbert, but it was Dennis Houston that was phenomenal. Now, let me pivot just a little bit. If Jalen Tolbert will be better this year, wouldn't that also mean that Dennis Houston would be even better?
Yep.
False?
Yep. Agree, dog. And see, this is to my point. And see, I think I'm gonna get Big to agree with me before this day is over with. Check this out. This comment. No. Check me out, Big. I think you gonna agree before this day is over with. Check this out. He said, Will McClay strikes again. They did a 2022 redraft and they had Tyler Smith going number 6. Oh, see, I told you that. Remember, we was debating who was better at team building, and I was telling you that Will McClay was way better than Rose. What's his name? That dude over there, Roseman. That dude at Philly. Like, cause I don't know if y'all knew this, but the OC is now a Philly fan.
Howie Roseman.
Yeah, Howie Roseman. Like the OC is now a Philly fan.
I say this? Can I say? Hold up, boss. Let me say this now. I just said we ain't got no choice but to be great in the draft because we don't do nothing in free agency. Right. They won in free agency. They won in free agency.
Yeah, but this is the point.
And that's what I was telling Boss Cowboy, Big. And I'm so glad that you are balanced. You are balanced. See, Big, you are a balanced thinker. See, Big, you are a balanced thinker. You are a balanced thinker because I said put the whole team together. I didn't say draft. So Boss Cowboy want to pull out all the draft picks and walk through every draft pick and see how this is a better draft pick than what the Eagles did OC. And I'm like, no, boss, that the man put together a better team. He went and got the whole kit and caboodle where they had chemistry and they dog walked their way into the Super Bowl. And that's all I was saying.
And because look at it this way too, boss. Look at it this too, boss. Is that they also didn't. Their drafts weren't terrible. Their drafts have not been terrible. They have, and he finagled those draft picks. They still have a top 10 pick with all that they have right now. They still have a top 10 pick this season because of his wheeling and dealing. They gave up that first rounder to get an A.J. Brown, dog. You feel what I'm saying? He made a difference. Those guys, they went out, made difference, and they still drafted well. They are drafting on the level with us. I'm not jumping on no Eagles, but dog, you know conservative don't win, boss. You know it don't win. It will never win. It will never.
Let me ask you this,
win.
boss. Let me ask you this, Big Game James.
I'm just saying, conservative will keep you competitive. Conservative will keep you competitive, but it will not get you over the hump, and y'all know that.
You was gonna say something, I feel like beating them again in this debate. No, you got something.
No. Let me ask the OC in Big Game, James. Where are the Eagles better than the Dallas Cowboys?
Offensive line,
receiver,
defensive line,
running back, offensive line, cornerback. Where else do we need to go?
They're deeper at running back.
Defensive line.
Deeper at running back.
Okay. They got 3 backs that they haven't paid no money to, and they probably might not pay Miles Sanders. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but they had 3 running backs. They were shrewd bringing in Bart Scott back, the little scat back. So they had 3 quality backs they were coming back with. But across the board, like you said, offensive line, receiver, tight end. We had young tight ends, but they had a bona fide tight end. You get what I'm saying? So if you look at it, yes, they were.
All right, so I'm not saying that they are or not. What I'm trying to say here is
they're not.
When we played them on that last time we played them, if they had Jalen Hurts, do they win that game? Big Game, James?
No.
I don't know about
I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know about.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say this. This is what we know happened. We played with our backup, okay, and the first game, and they blew us out. Then the second half, they pulled away, right, and they beat us by a good margin. Okay, this is what we do know.
They beat us
and
by
in the
9
second
points.
game, okay, they beat us by a good margin. That's a good margin, boss. 9 points is a good margin. That's
with
2 scores, boss.
Quarterback, and you supposed to be the best team.
Okay,
no,
boss.
You're not.
Okay,
that was
boss.
against Cooper
Okay,
Rush.
boss.
And that was with 38 times.
let me finish it, boss. Let me finish. I'm just telling the truth. This is what we know. We had our starting quarterback, okay, Dak Prescott, right, who had a great game, by the way, versus their backup quarterback, Gardner Minshew, who also had a really good game. And the Eagles barely lost that second game. That's what we do know. So we don't know if what would have happened if Jalen Hurts was there, but I do know that. And I do know that they're in the Super Bowl, and we ain't. And that's all I can say about that.
That's all the OC gonna do. He gonna always go to that to try to get that last bit of leverage during the Super Bowl.
It's not leverage.
That's what you do. That's the main thing to do is try to sway the crowd.
You see this guy?
Let me address this real quick. Let me address this. I'm gonna start muting mics up in here in a minute. All right, here we go, man. Let me set everybody straight on why. I'm gonna let everybody. It's real simple on why we are better at team building.
You don't know
if it's okay. And listen, I heard everybody case. I heard everybody case, and
I want to hear your case.
Everybody case was whack. I'm gonna break it down. Ain't nobody gonna be able to fight me when I say this.
Because it's homegrown.
No, it ain't homegrown. No, check this out.
Then tell me.
It's easy too. You gonna feel me, and I'm gonna say it in the way I know you gonna feel me, B. I'm gonna say it in the way I know you gonna feel me. Cause you box, you a fighter.
Okay.
You a fighter, right?
Okay,
so you in the ring. You in the ring, right? So I'm finna mute this. Hey, I'll see you one more time. I'm muting you, dog. I'm muting you.
Oh, you gonna punish me?
I'm gonna punish you, bro. Cause I done listened to your whack case, and I didn't even interrupt your case. And then every time I'm trying to let a word out, you talking about wee woo. Like I ain't got the home field advantage with buttons. Like I won't actually mute you right now, and I will. So check this out. So big. Check this out. This is real though. So big. You can box, right? And if you boxing somebody. And you tie your one arm behind your back, and you still give them a good fight, who the better fighter?
Are we doing that, boss?
Yes. Who the better fighter? If you put one hand behind your back,
you already know the answer to that question.
That's my point with Dallas. See, this is the point. This is what makes us better. Because Will McClay has a hand tied behind his back, and he still build teams just as good or better than Philly. And let me say this, they have not allowed him yet to go all in. You know what I'm saying? They have not. My question is this: if you took the hand from behind his back and say, "Okay, I'm gonna stop being baby nuts," go get it.
If was a fifth,
you telling me he couldn't get it in 1 year better than Jersey? You telling me he can't?
But we don't.
Man, the fact that we are competitive and this man got his hand behind his back, I easily win this argument. Game is over.
You're just making our argument. You're making the argument. You're making the argument, boss. You're just making the argument. You just said that if his hand wasn't tied behind his back, we'd be doing it. Harry Roseman's hand is not tied behind his back, and guess what? They are doing it. So you just answered us.
But I'm saying we're better, though. I'm still saying that we are better.
But boss,
that's my point. We're better. He's a better. We are better.
Your hypothetical is correct. No, I'm about to give you some credit. Your hypothetical is correct, boss. Your hypothetical is correct. But the issue is, boss, this is not a hypothetical. And the reality is what happened. We can say what and if, but this actually is a real scenario. This is bullets flying. And when it is a bullet flying situation, we got to evaluate on what actually happened. And I'm saying, based on what actually happened, Boss Cowboy, that man has done a better job. I'm not saying Will McClay can't do a better job, but I'm saying based on what actually happened, boss, it's not a hypothetical. And that's the disconnect. That's it.
Well,
now that I agree with.
It's not even
I agree with that. I agree.
But here's the thing, though, boss. Here's the biggest thing. The fact that Dallas, I just said it on there, that Dallas doesn't have no sense of urgency. When you're a GM for any other organization, correct?
That's true.
You can answer this for me, boss. When you get hired as a GM, your clock is already ticking. Is that not correct,
That's
boss?
Facts.
You have probably like a 5-year window to get it together. Or you're what? if
gone.
that, or what's happening? You're getting
gone.
fired.
Right.
Well, how many times has Jerry Jones said, I'm not firing myself?
No.
So where is the sense of urgency from the Dallas Cowboys organization when there's nobody firing them and there's nobody putting pressure on them to make the changes in the moves? So they can contently, slowly, just like I told you this past season, boss, that they were going to fall back on that. Oh, well, we're young. We got a young team. And even though we didn't make it this year, next year will be. They always can use that built-in excuse of next year because we're younger and we're looking for the future. That's what I always keep hearing from the Cowboys. The future. No, the time is now. While Dallas keeps on talking about the future, these teams are like, we're doing it now and we're getting there.
And the issue with this is that
because Will McClay hand is tied behind his back, but
we can't
Philly
be better if
is
we
better.
ain't get nothing.
Philly is better in terms of less bureaucracy, less politics, less BS, less committee stuff.
Where's it changing though, boss? You telling me that? That's what I get frustrated. You telling me this, right? I'm feeling what you're saying. But where are you going to see the change? You just said I need to see. That's why I'm not drinking no Kool-Aid, boss, because until I see actual real change, I can't believe it. That is hearsay. You know what they're saying, boss? You know law.
Yeah.
You studied it. You know it. That's hearsay. That's just a lot of hearsay from some Jerry Jones making it sound all good. The proof is in the pudding, dog. Go out there and make some moves. You're not going to kill your cap. You can release some players. Stop having this attachment to people. We're still talking about keeping Ezekiel Elliott at a very discounted rate. That tells me you ain't being serious, dog.
That's kind of true. Because
we will.
Because see, this is OC. This the deal. And I hate to do y'all like this. I really do. I really hate to do y'all like this, but but on some parts y'all all right in terms of we got in our own way. Yeah. We did get in our own way. I agree with that. We got in our own way. My thing is, if we just get out the way, we could really showcase what we're capable of. Because the fact that Philly
had the fifth.
No, hold on, hear me out. The fact that Philly had to mortgage all day future just to keep up with us, because we were sweeping them pretty much every year. You see what I'm saying? And they did get aggressive.
Did they mortgage their future? They still have a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
they
but
still
no,
have a top
they got
10
some
pick
picks.
this year.
They got some picks.
Yeah, they got they wheeled and deal, boss.
No, they did win and
really?
and we dropped the ball greatly on a couple of things based on politics, which is my point. This is where we dropped the ball. We dropped the ball.
So then they're better, boss.
Man, OC, can I finish my point without you? Because I promise I'm gonna mute you, dog. I'm gonna do you dirty, bro. I ain't never muted you. But just check this out. See, we could have now on the politics messing us up. Now hear me out, big. When you go look around the league and see what other teams got for their receivers, you telling me we shouldn't have got a first for Amari? So in that, they did a better job of willing and dealing. I agree. On willing and dealing, they beat us because we just super fumbled and vomited the Amari Cooper. It wasn't even the fact that we got rid of him. It's the fact that we got rid of him for a fit. We've been hogging from Law. What you got, bro?
Well, you right on the money with everything. I was just on the show live with West Coast, and he said, hey, replacing Amari Cooper wasn't the issue because they did replace Amari Cooper. And I said, who? It's C.D. Lamb. He did replace Amari Cooper, but they never replaced C.D. Lamb. And let that sink in. And I was like, damn, the Cowboys all last year never replaced C.D. Lamb. We replaced Amari Cooper with C.D. Lamb, but we never replaced C.D. Lamb. So our number 2 wide receiver was Michael Gallup, who was our number 3 his entire career. He never been a number 2, and we asked him to do number 2 things. And then Noah Brown, we know his storyline. He was the 4th and the 5th option, and we
Can
wanted
we go back to
him
that
be
tape?
the number 3.
Law, boss, can we go back to that? I would love for us to rewind that tape where I said remember when we was Remember when we was at Dallas? And I apologize to you now, Noah. But I took that apology back. Now you go watch the tape, Noah. Go watch the tape, Noah. Where I said, we know what you are, Noah. And remember when my guy was like, no, Noah's going to surprise. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's going to show exactly what he is.
Oh, that was
this is like Dennis Erickson, man.
Like this. If y'all go watch the Fight of Words, go watch the intro as that dude talking. Law dude, that dude like be quiet.
Yeah. Now I remember what y'all.
Go watch the intro. Watch the intro of the Fight of Word. But we was on them drinks that day, but we was feeling good.
Oh, we was on them drinks. We was feeling good.
Oh yeah.
But listen, man, just real talk, boss, man. On this, man, at the end of the day, man, we must admit, man, and I say this. The reason why I say this is not fanboying Philly. It's saying it so we can learn and we can take best practices. That's what the best organizations do, man. They take best practices and they learn from their competitors. And that's what I'm saying. They manage the situation of their cap and draft picks better than us in this way, because Jalen Hurts on a rookie deal. Okay. They don't have to pay a lot of money to the quarterback. So what did they do strategically? They got more draft picks and they put as much talent around him as possible to make a run. And so far, we don't know what will happen on Sunday, but it's worked, right? The same thing happened with the Seattle Seahawks when they found a gem in Russell Wilson. What did they do? You had the Legion of Boom. You had Marshawn Lynch, right? They built around him and built a strong team, and they went deep. They won a Super Bowl. Same thing happened, if I can go back even further, with Ben Roethlisberger. He was a rookie quarterback. He was solid. They had Jerome Bettis, all-star. God, listen, he was solid. They had a great defense, and they won a Super Bowl ball his very first year. He did the womp on that. They won a Super Bowl his rookie year. So what I'm saying, it was a mismanagement, boss, of the situation with Dak Prescott, where we could have been more aggressive, and we're still in a position, though, if we make some tweaks because of how well we draft, to make adjustments and still get where we gotta go. But it was a mismanagement of the situation from the jump, and that's what I'm saying, how the situation was managed as an organization, and that's what we need to learn from.
No, that's true. Yeah, I ain't gonna fight you on that.
They're not gonna learn from it because nobody's telling them. They're not gonna learn. They're not. I'm gonna repeat this to you guys. I know. Let me just be quiet. No, they're not gonna learn. It's how many years now? How many years? And Stephen Jones is hell bent on saying, we're so proud of having homegrown talent. We're so proud of doing it. How much does he keep on jumping up and doing backflips that he has homegrown talent? We have the most homegrown talent in the NFL. Like, he is proud of that. So where do I see them ever going to the outside getting a difference maker when this dude is so hell bent on having homegrown talent and being that way? So, hey, I mean, dog, that's why we got to be great in this draft. That's why we have to be 100% great in the draft, because they don't go out there and ever do it. So if we don't hit on the draft, it sets us back.
Yeah, it do set us back. But let me just say this one time. Just because you traded the guy away doesn't mean that you trade away the responsibilities. The Eagles were still left on the hook with $77 million of dead cap space from Carson Wentz trade. And they went into this past season with $64 million of dead cap money. They had $22 million, just like we had $22 million. So the misconception was they were able to do this because of their quarterback was on a rookie's contract is false. They still had less money because they had responsibilities due to Carson Wentz trade, regardless of the situation. So they still will and deal while we still complain. And what we did with our $22 million, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I say this real strongly. Poor franchises franchise tag their players. So by us franchise tagging Dalton Schultz, that's money that you can't prorate. You can't spread it about. You can't put a little here and then move a little there. So by us doing that, that crippled us more, if I can make any sense out of it. And they had the $22 million. That's why they were still able to do the A.J. Brown move. They was able to do all of those moves because They knew how to wheel and deal and stretch the pot. I don't think that chemical engineering, Stephen Jones, because that's what his degree in. I don't think that he know how to manage the books well. And it's a do-it-yourself project. Yo, boss, OC, Big Game James, y'all got houses. When you try to do it yourself, yeah, it looks good that you can save some money, but it's be better if you go get somebody that know how to do it, because saving money is looking good on the outside, but it's not up to code.
Yeah, let me jump in and piggyback on what you said.
Hey, play that long. Play. That was a good one.
You're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.
I bet you can't say that again like you
Can I
just
get a
said
yoga?
it, bro,
Can I
'cause
get
I'm
a
not
yoga
going
fire?
that
Can I get a yoga?
Man,
Please,
you
yoga
deserve
fire.
for that, Jesus.
That's a yoga flame. That's a yoga flame.
I appreciate it.
That was beautiful. That was perfect, Law.
That
That was
really
perfect.
bro.
Like that was perfect. What you just said. That was perfect. That was perfect. Because that's what exactly is.
Yoga fire.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and to circle the block even more, just backing up Law, and he's absolutely right in the sense that it's not just a rookie contract, but Law was making the point of, I believe, of myself and Big on this, and that they manage the cap better. They reworked contracts. They manipulated draft picks and capitals to still get a tremendous amount of talent in that room. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys got to do some kind of way. You got to make it work, and you got to make it, as they used to say, do what it do. You got to make it do what it do and get the people in the building that can help you go far and deep and beat some of these teams that are keep on working and willing and dealing every single year to be a contender type team. And you can do it without sacrificing everything, but you got to be smarter and you got to start making some moves.
Right.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
exactly correct. You got to be smarter. You can't be scared. And just like y'all said, you got to have somebody that can really get in there and get his hands dirty and do the nitty gritty. They are so hell bent on, remember, once again, who is all in that circle of running the franchise? It's just the Joneses. They act like they're the smartest people in the book. So they're going to be trying to prove they did it their way. That's why I feel like they're not moving from that needle, because they're so hell-bent on saying, we did it this way. We didn't spend a lot of money on free agents. We kept our guys. We did it this way. And where do you see that philosophy changing, fellas? I mean, I'm sorry. I don't like to rain on the parade, but I'm sorry. I'm not falling for the mumbo jumbo no more from these guys. I'm not falling for the mumbo jumbo. They say this stuff every single year to us. Yet we see teams time and time again pass us with simple things. Like they get in there, they get their hands dirty, they manipulate the cap. They say, hey, we're trying to make this happen without still killing our team. Yes, guess what? You might have a little kickback on the money, but guess what? If it's to get you the ultimate goal of getting to the championship, that's what you're playing for. What are you being scared of? What are you saving money for? What are you waiting for? What are you saving this money? And just like Law said, why in the hell, when you could have had more money to spend, you put $10 million on an average tight end? You were scared. You're doing the same thing with Tony Pollard because you're scared. You don't want to, we don't want to trust a rookie running back, so let's put Tony Pollard on a franchise 1-year deal. For what?
Yep. And here's another thing too. It's how calculated Howie Roseman was. Instead of paying Fletcher Cox the $6 million signing bonus or the $6 million bonus check that he was going to get, they cut him. They cut Fletcher Cox. Brought him back. They ate the $12 million. Brought him back for 1.5. The dude got 7 sacks. If Fletcher Cox played for the Dallas Cowboys, there'll be a statue outside of Star. You know what I'm saying? The Frisco and Star. Because he had all of those sacks throughout the course of his career. They will be building monuments and all the type of shrines for this brother. But the Eagles were bold enough, and like you said, I hate giving these props to those boys. But that's big nuts right there to cut one of your boys and say, all right, test the market. You Fletcher Cox. But you're going to come back crawling back to us because we got something for you when you come back. And 1.5 is what it was, and they got 7 sacks from 1.5. I can't make this stuff up, but y'all go ahead.
Man, did I take my first L? Hell no, I ain't take my first L. I ain't take my L.
Yeah, you did.
Y'all did race.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I kind of.
We woo.
No. In the total. No. All right, here we go.
They took the risk.
In the total scheme of things, especially how it was all expounded today, yeah, they outmaneuvered us. In terms of talent, I do think that we're better at being able to get talent, but overall, talent and maneuvering, yeah, you gotta. L, Dallas, you lost to Philly. Keeping it real. When you add it all up, especially your last point, Law, because it would have been a statue, and you know what else would have happened? Hey, Jamel, why don't you shut up, bro? You keep calling me out, bro, talking about I don't never admit. And I only see you when I debate.
I love it.
That's the only time I see you is when I debate. Talking about I never admit. Who the hell you been watching?
That's why I love you, boss. That's why I love you, because I do that. That's why I love you, boss. Because I love it. That's why I love you, boss. No, don't you ever stop that, because I love it, because I do the same thing on my shows. I'll find one person just won't shut the hell up, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Forget the damn show. Me and you can just go at it. I'm going to give you what you want. Me and you can just go at it. I don't give a hell.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, ain't nobody run from me. You know what I'm saying? You just keep on talking the whole damn show. Well, then let's go ahead and talk. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't nobody making you like you somebody. It's just I'm tired of hearing your damn mouth every day the whole damn time, and I'm going to go ahead and address it. I appreciate you, boss. I appreciate you just cut out the show and just like, man, shut the hell up. I love it. Don't you ever stop being like that.
Dog, this dude over here being weird. The boss don't never admit. Bitch, I don't know you. Who the fuck are you? I don't know you.
You feel me? I feel you.
I be over here like, now I'm over here saying that y'all made a good case. And as I'm saying that, this dude, he don't never admit. Dog, shut up. Like, as I'm admitting that y'all made a heavy good case against, you know what I mean? It's like, man, some of y'all be on my balls. Can y'all get off my balls, please?
You feel me?
All right, man. Let me get off of that, man. But just, you know, some of y'all get on my nerves. It's all good, bro. I know. I get it. You want boss to take an L. Just say that. You won't, because I've been giving everybody L's. I done gave everybody L's before. Everybody. But sometimes I go take my L's, dog. It's my day today, okay? It's my day, okay? It's my day. All right, but real quick, this is my L day. I would take it. But here we go. All right, here we go. All right, man. Let's do this real quick. Just real quick. I got something for everybody.
All right.
This is the free agent list of Dallas Cowboys. All right, we're gonna make this thing.
You know what I'm so happy about, first boss? That Terrence Steele is restricted.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody can pry at him.
Yes, very much facts. Now, this list is interesting, and we ain't gonna go through this whole list. and
we can do this fast.
I've not waved the white flag.
Oh yeah, there's only about 5 guys.
I know it sounded like I waved the white flag. Only a little bit. Only a little bit.
He's pump faking. He's only saying that for y'all.
Nah, I'm saying that for y'all. We got outmaneuvered.
I don't believe it.
I waved a white flag. We got outmaneuvered. We did. I didn't want to say it until Law made his case, and then Big and OC, they really made some good cases, and you know I gotta go ahead and give it up. All right, but back to this though. Free agents. All right, so
that's how I was last week, man. A week before last with Trayvon Diggs tackling. Remember, all 3 of y'all.
Oh yeah, we were fighting.
All 3 of y'all beat me up, man.
Yeah, we had to 3 of them. You tried though. Law was fighting.
I tried. You should see the other dude. I held up for mine.
Boy, you start talking about that Trayvon Diggs, everybody was like,
oh hell no.
Oh no, not after that game, big dog. No.
So I was in your seat, boss. I know how you feel, man. I was in your seat.
It don't feel good, bro. It be kind of be over here like, but see, on the cool.
That's why we good with each other. That's why we cool.
Yeah,
y'all.
we all got to take an L at some point. At some point, I had to take an L. You feel
for
me?
sure.
All right, but looking at these
for
free
sure.
agents, bro. Everybody, I'm gonna just go through a couple of these real quick. T.Y. Hilton, big. He coming back?
Yep.
Nope.
My bad.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna name another.
Why? Why Law?
Oh,
That
why?
make no
I think
sense.
he was picking up some of the things last year and on the last
Man,
tail
he
of
be
it.
34
Yeah.
years old. Don't need to get him back. That's a waste of money.
T.O. signed his first contract with the Cowboys at 33.
Ooh.
Don't do that. He ain't no damn T.O., so stop.
He making a good case though. We got to give him.
They at least give him for 2 years, right? 3 years? Yeah.
Y'all
I think 3 years.
just said take Jalen Tolbert. You know you can draft somebody year 2 of him, Michael Gallup, and then you can. I don't think you want to do a 34-year-old.
Okay, I think I got a compromise that's gonna be in the middle that might make both of y'all shake hands. Y'all want to hear it? Is that let's wait till we get through the free agency. Let's get through the draft, and then let's look at the roster. If it's still an open spot and need there, even if it's for receiver 4, I'll be open to it. Is that a compromise?
But before you go
that's a
there,
better
boss, and I know we probably pressed for time, but can you go to overthecap.com?
Yeah.
Yeah, go there right quick, and we gotta stroll down somewhere, and I gotta show you something because this could be a mute point.
All right.
All of this could be a mute point. Overthecap.com, and this is gonna be very beneficial for everyone to take a look at because I truly believe if and go to cap space where it says cap space at the top, way at the top, stroll all the way down, fam. $60 million is for the Saints, $55 million Vikings, Jaguars. Those teams going to have to do a fire sale. They're going to have to cut some key guys. They're going to have to wheel and deal. So that's why I say we're going to have to sit back because if I'm a dude, I'm looking at the Saints. They got a big boy inside. I forgot how you say his name, Omar Mele or whoever. I like him, I like the I know you know Big Game James. And I would probably get rid of my spleen right now if the Cowboys can just go get Marshawn Lattimore on one side and Diggs on the other side. And I'll be done.
They're
with
gonna
it.
pay Diggs? Are they gonna pay Diggs, Law?
Man, you got one more year. You got
yes or no?
They go. Damn.
Yes or no?
They gonna pay.
Yes, they gonna pay him. They gonna pay him. They gonna pay him. He's homegrown, Big Game James.
That's
and
why.
Outside,
that's the only thing that's saving him.
Big,
then that's the only thing saving him. Then.
That's it.
That's
wait
it.
a minute.
That's
it. We had this conversation.
I
had this conversation about 2 hours ago with Wes, and he brought up this point too, which was very brilliant. Let me ask y'all this: Is Diggs one of the best quarterbacks the Cowboys ever drafted outside of Mel Renfro and Everson Walls?
Yeah. And Dion. Yeah.
No, he was homegrown.
They
I'm talking about homegrown.
Dion.
Cowboys drafted.
Homegrown. Oh yeah, he one of the best. If not, no doubt.
So he's probably the third greatest DB they done ever drafted.
Agree. Facts. Yeah, West Coast is on point with that. Yes.
So you agree? So the Cowboys like that type of stuff, man. That's all I wanted to say.
Man,
but look at those guys. Look at all those red right there. They're gonna have to escape.
So the fire sale teams again. You said because I'm gonna go look at this. I'm gonna go look at their rosters. I appreciate this, Law. This is good stuff. This is good content stuff. This is good stuff, Law. Man, this is y'all. And listen, when I do content off of this, y'all already know Law was the one who inspired this, okay? So don't be on my nuts. Don't be. But he stole it from Law. Yes, I did.
Nah, man,
I did steal it from
We was all right here and saw it, so shut the hell up.
Right. So
the wee woo people.
The wee woo.
So the fire said you said Saints and.
I see the Saints. The Bucks got some players that we would like to see.
Yeah.
We already know the Vikings, man. I'm looking at that linebacker. What's his name? Hendricks, whatever name is. Hendricks. Yeah. Jags. He got some people out here, man. Even the Rams, even with Jalen Ramsey, for a cup of coffee, there are gonna be some fire sales somewhere around here, man.
Yeah, not for us, not for Dallas. fire yourself for Dallas where? They're not getting no Jalen Ramsey.
It's gonna be a free fall, man. It's gonna be a lot of free agents, man.
I know it's gonna be a lot of free agents, and we ain't getting none of them unless they cheap.
That's why I say, man, we can't tag nobody, man. We need to spread this money out,
But
man.
they're going to. They've already put it out there, Law. You said we can't tag them, and I agree. But they're already putting it out there. So if they tag Tony Pollard, I'm gonna say, yep, that's all I need to know. They ain't serious.
Yeah, they seriously.
You putting up 10 million. You putting 10 million for 1 year, like Law said. You can't move that 10 million. It's set in stone.
Yeah.
You can't move around it. You can't negotiate it.
Yep.
You can't flip it. You can't do nothing with it. And you're jumping all the way out there already. It's freaking February, and you're talking about he tagging. Oh my God! I just want to throw something right now.
Oh, Big, I feel you. And see, listen,
man, pissing me off, dog, because it's stupid. Y'all telling me this stuff. That's why I don't believe this stuff. That's why I don't believe it, boss.
Yeah.
Because it's foolery.
You making sense? And see, Big, listen, Big, what I tell you
Shaq Barrett, they put some names out there. Vita Vea. What if we get Vita Vea, man?
No, I'm with Big now. I'm with Big.
No,
I'm with Big now. And see, Big, I call Big. And what did I say, Big? I say the final word ain't quite in balance without you, dog. Didn't I say that? I said that to my partner private on the phone. Cause see, this is the type of counter thought that people gotta appreciate. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being honest, you gotta have somebody that bring you the real hard truth about your organization. Cause then you could accidentally drink Kool-Aid that's poison. You really could.
You were drinking a lot of poison Kool-Aid today.
Oh, no, I ain't drinking a lot of Kool. I ain't drinking a lot of poison Kool.
You drank a lot of poison.
No, it wasn't a lot.
It
Just
was
a little
nasty
bit.
As hell.
And see, no. Let me tell you something though, Big. That's just real though. That's real. This is where I had to kind of back up a little bit on, because yes, it's true. If Will McClay hands one tie behind his back, we would be exponentially crazily good. But you're right. You can't take away the fact that the guy that's tying his hands is baby nuts. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. Yes. You can't. Like, even though what I'm saying is true that Will McClay so cold, he build good teams even when they.
You're right.
But it's the fact that the guy that's over the books and the guy that's over the budget is still in love with his way of building. And see, Big, you right on that. That's why I had to go ahead and.
So isn't that pride, y'all?
Yeah,
isn't
that's pride, bro. That's the whole point.
And what'd you say? Pride go before the fall?
Yeah.
We talked about that, right? We know that. So the pride is getting in the way of trying to make us believe this is the way. When teams are showing us time and time again each year, that is not the way. Now understand, these other teams are still drafting. They're still coming back. What did the Seattle Seahawks do? Everybody was getting on the Seattle Seahawks, right? Oh, they always getting rid of their first rounders. They always trading. And what did they just do? They came back and flipped Russell Wilson. They got rid of their guy. And what did they do? Came back and flipped a gang of picks. So isn't that the management saying, okay, you saw us get rid of like 4 first-round picks in a row, but guess what? Now we came back and flipped those. So that's saying they still being aggressive. They're still messing with those numbers. Each year they're looking at what do we need to do to get right back in it. Are y'all seeing what I'm saying, y'all?
Man,
the Seattle Seahawks just came right back in the damn playoffs, dog. And now they got picks. I don't want to hear that damn noise no more, dog. It's just a bunch of foolery and lies. They just lying to us, dog. And until I see something, you're liars. That's all y'all are liars. And we're gonna keep on suffering. We have to look at. Aren't y'all pissed that we got to sit there and look at the Philadelphia freaking Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs? You just said the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, how many years have they been in the Super Bowl? How many straight years have they been in the Super Bowl? You just said Pat Mahomes.
3 out of the 5 years,
3 out of the 5 years. So you just said, boss, they had Pat Mahomes was running for his life in that Super Bowl. What did they do? They said, we're not going to have that. We're going to get top guys. We're going to trade a pick. We're going to get a top guy. And guess what? They're right back there. I don't know where aggressive loses and conservative win. Where in that world does that show? Show me in that world where conservative wins and aggressive don't. Show me the world.
It's called It's called the metaverse. That's the world. That's the world. That's the world. Because at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, this is really simple. We make it complex. People are hard, man. Football is easy if you just understand the basics. A, find a good quarterback. B, protect that quarterback. C, get some weapons around that quarterback.
Right.
D, build yourself a good defense. All right. All right. And then the last one will probably be the first one. Find a good coach that can put together a coaching staff and have some continuity. Shebang, shebang, shebang. You compete for a Super Bowl. But that's what you got to do. Those are pretty much the 5 key things you got to do to build a good organization from a football team perspective. And the Cowboys seem to invariably complicate this whole narrative every single year by being smarter than your own self, doing worldly and crazy stuff and trying to reinvent the wheel when you just got to stick with the fundamentals and do what most teams do. They covet, they hunt, they go after the best possible players, and they make some sacrifices and some concessions to get those players and keep those players when they're in their prime. That's how you win championships, and that's how you build football teams.
Well, the OC, what I'm about to say, you're not going to like. Well, some of the fans not going to like. With that being said, you don't tag none of these guys. You look at Rain Dakota Prescott in his eyes and say, I'm about to extend you so we can get more money to add all around you. But for right now, a third of the fan base is froggy on him. They want to say, all right, they want to get rid of Dak Prescott. And in order for us to get the thing that the Seattle Seahawks did, Russell Wilson had to relinquish his no trade clause. But I think Russell was looking at it like, shoot, the Denver, I get to be my own man over there. Yes, let me pick the Denver, right? Because he had choices. When he relinquished his no trade clause, he had Giants, Denver, and some other team that was in that sweepstakes, and he picked Denver. And I wouldn't blame him because they had all of those weapons over there, but he's the one that dropped the ball and laid the egg. I'm talking about Russell Wilson. I don't see Dak Prescott moving on from the Cowboys. Remember, he's a Cowboy fan himself too. But go ahead.
No, man, I love it, bro. I did a video on what you said yesterday, bro.
I agree with you, bro.
I swear to God, I said Dak Prescott on a long-term contract extension opens up the Dallas Cowboy window wide open for years.
Bust it wide open.
But see, it's only places like this that's gonna tell you that type of level of truth. Because the cap hit right now on Dak is 49.
You can't live with that one though. You can, but
so you gotta. And the OC said it best. The OC told me this, and I put this in the show. That the window is not the average per year. It's the cap hit. It's the cap hit. So you do what you got to do to make that cap hit don't hurt, so that you can build around Dak, and that's maneuvering. Exactly what you said. And me and Law never talked. We never talked about that.
Never.
And I put a video about this same thing as well. This was actually right after they lost to San Francisco. And I said, these are some key things the Cowboys have to do, because speaking about salary cap and space, and I'll rehash it for conversation's sake, and I also think it's really important to this part of the discussion here. This next year, if you didn't restructure contracts, and I said it, I believe, a couple shows back, you would be paying 4 players $94 million. Dak Prescott, Tank Lawrence, Zach Martin, and then also I believe you have in that mix Tyron Smith as well. So you're going to play 4 players $92 million if you don't restructure this. And that goes back to your point, Law, that really you just have to put your mind around it or get somebody else that can help you do it. Understand how to play with the numbers and move the pieces around, because if you move the money and the pieces around, you'll be in good shape. You just got to know how to do it.
Can I say something?
Talk to me, man.
Oh, boss.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say your point is correct. And when you were saying that we're right there, or we're just as good as the Eagles, if not better, with team building, I can feel what you're saying, because when you look at the Cowboys in this playoffs, right?
Yeah,
you smashed Tampa Bay, right? You should have beat San Francisco, right? Yep. And what were they all saying about Dallas? We only had one receiver. We didn't have the offensive line. So right there, to me, that pisses me off even more that the organization is competing with all these other teams that so-called have more stuff than us, and we're right there with them, and you could just sprinkle this or sprinkle that and get over the hump.
Right.
Like, that's where your organization is doing you a disservice because you're banging with all these teams with less arsenal, and you're still right there. So that should tell you how good your team really is. So why don't you jump out there and get some damn nuts?
Right. And then worse big is we go backwards. See, this is why I was making the case that we was better. Because Will McClay went and got us Amari Cooper. He went and got us the dude. He was in our building, dog. It ain't like you said he was here. But what happened is Steven was like, you know what? We can go cheaper with Kellen Moore's system. And so the dude that Will McClay brought in here to take us over the hump, we got cheap, closed our butt cheeks, and then sent him out for a 5th rounder. Will McClay did his job.
Wow.
Steven Jones messed it up. That's why I was saying we are better, because this man has his hand ties behind his back and he still be having us in the fight. But you right though, in terms of the overall maneuvering and execution of deals and being first things first, overall, yeah, Philly beat us. But
We
it's
suck.
almost like I'm
We
saying
suck
this.
at that.
We wasting
We
talent.
suck.
I said like that.
We are wasting talent. We are wasting talent. You're wasting these precious years. That's why I said Michael Parsons. I said you gotta win and when these. You talk about winning when these guys are young. You don't. You have Stephen Jones crying, right? That's what I don't understand about Stephen Jones, man. He's so goofy. You're crying about, oh, we got to pay Micah soon and we got to pay CeeDee Lamb. So why the hell don't you just win now and get some of these guys so when they get ready to come up, you got some chips around them already? Like, I don't understand this conservative. Once again, I'm about to get pissed off again because I don't like conservative. You're playing you're not doing the service right to the organization or the fans. Okay, you're not doing it right by us because you have a team that's competing, right? You had 2 back-to-back playoff appearances, first time in 20 years, over 10 years, and 2 back-to-back double-digit win seasons. You see Mike McCarthy. What happens when you see a Pete Carroll and their general managers? They work hand-in-hand together. We don't have that. You see what I'm saying? That's been another disconnect where the general manager and the owner, that's 2 people. That's 1 person. I'm sorry. And then he works with the actual coach. It's not like that. How many times we heard, well, he's going to be starting, and then Mike McCarthy's, well, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
How many times we seen that?
Right.
How many times we seen that during the year?
Man.
Well, yeah, he's gonna be our starting left tackle. He'll be in there next week. Mike McCarthy ain't said nothing yet. Shut up. See, that's the problem. See, so when we keep on hearing when I see those things, you're still meddling. But you, bro, I'm getting mad because you 80, and you're the GM. You're the GM. You're 80 years old and you're our GM. Are we serious about that? And you keep on saying these digital. Jerry Jones is the 80-year-old. What's he doing? That's the GM.
Say, I'm gonna try to take it a step further, bro. It's almost like dealing with. I'm from Dallas, so it's a place in Dallas where the privileged are. They call Highland Park. When I see Stephen Jones, I'm gonna be honest. I get a strong smell of extra privilege and spoiled to where he gets so locked into his way. Like he tagged Dak. Like most people don't understand how silly that was. I heard you say this, Law. What was the cap space we had in 2019? It's gonna shock y'all.
$94 million in cap space.
And we spent 1/3 of it tagging Dak.
Yeah.
Dak was the first quarterback in our history that we actually tagged. And if you look at it, Dak in 2020 was the most expensive person in the NFL on total cap hit. $31 million gone, and it was in 5 games because it was in the 5th game he hurt his ankle. So you spent $31 million being stubborn. And basically their whole thing was about trying to force Dak to be team friendly.
Yep.
That's
Trying to
scary.
virtual
That's
wheel.
scary to big game.
Like we
James
spotted.
Point.
Like we
That's
spite.
scary.
Like yeah, we spite. That's spiteful. That's spiteful.
That's
No,
emotional.
perfect.
No, I'm
That's
gonna
perfect.
tell you what it
Perfect.
was. I'm gonna tell you
Spiteful, dog.
exactly what it was. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it was. It was Kunta Kinte on Roots, and when the slave master whipped him and kept on telling, "What's your name?" He said, Kunta Kinte. He said, "Wrong, Toby. I told you your name is Toby. Say your name is Toby." That's what it was. And at the end of the day, he ended up losing. He lost that battle, and he paid Dak Prescott $40 million a year, which is why, to Law's point, extend the man now, and you can control that number.
Yes.
If you don't extend him now,
Extend him
that
now.
number, if you wait, listen, you heard it here first. Listen closely. Scoot up.
Yeah, hold on.
If
Let me scoot up.
If you wait, and you let Dak play to the end of this contract,
Okay.
you are going to have to pay Dak Prescott more than $51 a yearly average to keep his services.
It's gonna be like that now,
If you
OC.
wait. No, I'm saying it's going to be more than $51 million.
Oh, it's gonna be like that now.
So
I did the numbers on this
yesterday.
yesterday. Aaron Rodgers is right now at
he's
an
the
APY
outlier.
of 50. No, he's not an outlier. He's next. So his average per year is 50. That means the next quarterback is gonna have to top that. And it happens every time. So I'm basically saying the warning that you said is already here. I'm basically saying you're right.
Yeah. No, listen, man. I'm telling you, pay the man quickly and in a hurry.
Yeah.
And stop trying to say, Toby. No.
But see, here's the thing. We'll see, because I already told you that Stephen Jones ain't on no Dak Prescott. I don't care what they say in the media. Just because they say that stuff in the media don't mean it's true. Just because they say that in the media, oh, we love Dak and he's our guy. Man, I don't believe Stephen Jones saying Dak is our guy. I don't believe him. I don't believe him at all.
Yeah.
Him saying that, I don't believe nothing in him. Because why would you franchise, like you said, why would you franchise?
Hey, boss, check your DM on Twitter. I wanted you to pull that up so that I can recall my damn mind, man.
Okay,
I got the damn tweet. I got the damn tweet. It's Chris Arnold. I found it. So when it's in your DM.
I got it right here, big dog.
Ooh, pull it up so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
So look.
I got it.
Look at that. Was I right on that money?
Right on the money, Law. That's why I asked you, because I knew you was gonna be right on the money. I heard you do
so
it on your
I was
show.
off on the year. So that was in 2020. I guess that season is kind of rigid, right?
Yeah.
So it was going into 2020. Yeah.
Going into 2020. Yeah.
So what did we do with that money, dog? What we do with all that money?
We tagged Dak, which was crazy. And you tagged Dak, man.
Knowing you were going to pay him anyway.
Right.
No, just like you tagged DeMarcus Lawrence, knowing you were going to pay him anyway, right? You tagged him, you still paid him. So what was the point of you really tagging him? What, for another? What did you tag?
Power.
Like I said.
Power.
Yeah, you're right. Power. We own you. You're going to do what we say. If you don't like what we say, then this is what's going to happen to you.
But they think we be lying. They thinking we be lying when we say the Cowboys don't do nothing with the money.
That's true. That's true.
They be like, Lord, man, we need the money.
That's true.
we don't do nothing with the money, y'all. Come on, man.
That butt wow.
That's sad, man.
Hey, this is really sad, though. This is really sad, though. It pains me.
It's
sad.
This is
sad.
See, because you know what this coming down to? We one man's ego away. Because at this point, I think even Jerry would know how to get us over the hump.
Don't you know?
You see what I'm saying?
Hold on.
Like,
I just got to say this one time. For the one time.
Now, Jerry having to build a whole team? Nah. No.
Hey, I just got to say this one time. if we were able to see, and I'm gonna give them they flowers one more time. If we were able to see the Eagles do that with $22 million, what the hell what they would have done with $94 million of free cap space?
Right.
Oh
Can I ask that question like this, Law? Can I say it like this? Let me say it like this. If 21 million did that to the Eagles, what would 31 million that we threw away with Tag and Dak would have done for Dallas?
Ooh, that's
nothing,
even better.
Because they wouldn't have did nothing.
Right. Yeah. Let's give our final words because I know we'll go all day, bro. I know we'll go all day. I'll start it out.
Man, first of all, y'all put fire in the chats, man, for the content, man. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports, follow Law Nation, follow Big Game James, man. You getting the best in the business, man. Put fire in the chat, man, on all the channels, man. Give it up for the Pounder, man, for real, man. We putting in work, man, and you can't tell me to get this nowhere else.
Oh yeah,
we putting in work, man. Go ahead, Boss Cowboy.
Not that real stuff. Not that real stuff.
So this is the dope thing about the final word is that y'all used to once a week. It's now more than that. Now we getting ready to have this tame style of realness, but it's gonna be about details of these draft candidates as well as some free agents. Everybody's homework is gonna be receivers, the chat too. Do your homework so that you can add value to the show, because we gonna all have our top picks and we gonna have our top free agent picks that can potentially help this team. Now, what I'm excited about from doing this show, that because I know everybody personally, we all independent thinkers, so it's gonna be some natural debates that's gonna arise out of this. It's gonna be good ones though, and it's gonna make us better. Like for instance, I was wrong about Moomba last year, but me debating Big Game James put me on the right track. You know what I mean? Because he was able to tighten me up and say, hey boss, you watched the wrong games. Go look at this game, go look at this game, go look at this game, and then you'll see why most people high on Moomba. And I was like, and I did. So it's not just the fact that we combining all these great minds to talk about draft candidates and free agents, but mostly draft candidates. We're gonna be combining all the best minds to fight these things out till we get to the top. So we gonna do this in an organized fashion because we're not gonna overload y'all either. This week will be about strictly weapons, so we gonna concentrate on those weapons. It's gonna be dope. I'm excited about it. This gonna be the first time we expanded the final word to 2 other people as well, J Tuck and DMV. DMV won't be here this week, but we'll have J Tuck. And then obviously it's just going down. So my final word is I'm excited about the growth of the final word, and I look forward to this again, but on draft content on Thursday. I'll see y'all then. That's my final word.
Yeah, man, I'll go next and just say this, man. And my final word is going to be quick, smooth, and easy, man. We'll be a championship team, man, if we get off that wee-woo. That's what I'm talking about. That's all.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee-woo.
Exactly, man. Hey, we get off that and just get on straight business like the OC try to give to you every week, man. Just make quality decisions. Do what you got to do. We got a lot of draft content. We going deep in every position. Y'all stay locked with us, man. Until next time, we'll see you.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
All right, I'm gonna be next on this. I'm gonna holler at my boy 808. Yeah, whatever, dog. You telling me that this is my final word when he's telling me, oh, there's not change, because there is change because Kellen Moore is gone and Mike McCarthy's still here. Okay, I see that, but that don't make no change in what they willing and dealing. So I don't give a hell about because Kellen Moore is gone. Are they gonna step out and start messing with those books and do that the right way?
Right.
So I'm not agreeing with nothing the hell you're saying, so I'm sorry, and you're gonna get a womp womp from me. So thank you.
I got you.
That's for you. That's for you, 808. Now, my final word is this. I'm gonna play once again from the legendary Public Enemy and Flavor Flav. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Okay, so I ain't gonna believe all that hype that y'all been saying until I see it. So just because Kellen Moore is gone don't mean nothing to me, because I want to see you go out and get maybe 1 or 2 players. I want to see you not franchise tag Tony Pollard, just like you've been franchising and get and wasting money. I'm talking about you trying to save money. You wasting money, dog. And so I don't believe what y'all saying. I don't believe what you're saying. And I'm going to say it again. I don't believe what you're saying. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is when we actually see it. Get out there and finally get aggressive. We're being handcuffed by one, like you just said, boss. Yep. Egomaniac, right? He's an egomaniac right now because he's so hell-bent on saying,
this way.
We did it this way. Yep. We did it this way, and we're not moving from it. So you can keep on acting like that, but guess what's going to keep on happening? We'll keep winning games. We'll keep being competitive, and every year we'll be failing, and every year they'll be saying the same thing about us, and I'm getting tired of saying that same crap. So I'm sorry if y'all don't want to hear that. Well, that's what I'm saying, and I ain't putting no damn Kool-Aid. I almost drank it, Stephen Jones. You almost had me drink it. It was right there. But you know what? Nope, not going to do it, and that's my final word.
Ooh. Yes, indeed. And Big Game James had my brother to rag on me for a whole week. He said, tell your boy Big Game James I got a wild cherry Kool-Aid that I'm drinking for his 49ers. And I said, dang. But I reminded him, Big Game James, his drought is longer than ours, right?
That's right.
You feel me? You feel me?
Longer than ours. You might have won that battle, but the war is far from over. We going to get to 6 before the 49ers. But I want you guys to do me a huge favor. I looked over to my Facebook and I only saw 3 shares. If you guys that's watching, can y'all do me a huge favor? Tell that share button to lean forward just a little bit. Slap that share button for your boy and slap it and share this content all around. Let's continue to grind to grow. So for my opinion, for my thoughts, boss, what you're saying is that we're going to be doing the draft concept Thursday, and it's going to be covering the wide receivers, right?
Yep.
Can I give you my pet cat already? We're going to wait. Can I tease him a little bit?
It's up to you, bro. It's up to you.
Let me tease y'all, man. I like this dude from Ole Miss, Mingo, big boy. I liked his feet, the foot action and everything. He's 225 pounds. He's a big boy. He's a tall target. He got some little quick speed to him. He's like Noah Brown a little bit, but with better hands. So let's see what Mingo can do, man. He's from Brandon, Mississippi. I met his parents and everything growing up in Mississippi. Of course, he is a hard worker. He's a good student, and he's one of my guys that I'll be looking at and seeing what he's going to do on this next level. And he's one of my pet cats or sleepers out of this draft. So shout out to Mingo. Shout out to all of the Mississippi squad. Shout out to all of the Mississippi wide receivers. And, of course, his goal is to be better than A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf. Those are big shoes to fill, son. But look, anything can happen, man. It's the NFL. So let's see what can happen down the line. That's all I have, man, for my final word. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all to the sun, and the moon, and back. Let's go. DC for life. Cowboy Nation.
Hey, and the week after that gonna be running back. So we doing receivers first, and then we
got me some homework.
Man, everybody got homework, but listen, if you only got 3 or 4, that's cool. Some people gonna have 20, some people gonna have 5. It's not about that.
Wide receivers. Jonathan Mingo, Rashid Rice, Cedric Tillman, Quentin Johnson.
I'm seeing y'all.
That's all the people that I've been looking at.
So those are the people that got the 3 stars.
Yeah, those are the people like, you know, the build that the Cowboys like. They don't like those tiny guys, you know, for some reason. You know, they got a lot of good tiny guys, but they don't like them, man.
No, I'm excited, man. I can't wait to see what this evolved into. Because, see, the original final word evolved. It got doper and doper and doper as we played ball together. And Big Game James said that was going to happen. He said, man, we going to fill each other out, and then it's going to get to a point where we know that bounce pass is coming. I definitely say we at that point right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see that mold happen with DMV and J Tuck. It's going to be dope.
You must saving DB class for last, honey. Best for last.
We might do that week 3. like it's about trying to target our top needs first, and then I think that's how we should handle it. Then it's gonna just get entertaining. You feel me?
Oh, I got some requests right now. They saying that please just stay to the realism of what the Cowboys gonna